Oh, let me tell you something. Busting makes me feel good.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Blockbusting, the podcast where we love to hate the movies. I'm your host, Jay Light. Joining me today, the wonderful, hilarious, very casual Stephen Randolph.
Hey, what's up? This is Steve Randolph. I'm just hanging out. It's bright and sunny out here.
I've never seen you in civilian clothes before, I think.
Yeah, this is just my Aviator Nation hat. I've got some shorts on, some new Nikes, and an Egghead Software t-shirt. And why don't we just keep it cash?
Why not? I'm wearing Lululemon pants and Allbirds.
And
I'm
they look
cash
great
as
on
fuck.
you. If I wasn't married, I wouldn't be this forthcoming, but you look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I didn't realize you had so many leg tattoos until I seen you in these shorts.
They're all over the place.
Those are sweet.
Thank you. They're all over the place.
I've been thinking about getting another tattoo, but I don't know what it would be.
I get inspired. I go kind of browse past the tattoo parlor, kind of get some inspiration. If I were to get more, I really want to get stained glass, like from Catholic Church stained glass. I want to get some stained glass on me, but it gets expensive fast.
Oh yeah, the last tattoo I got was my most expensive and definitely the biggest one, but it was 3 sittings. Probably, I mean, it was tax return money.
Yeah,
it was a tax return tattoo.
That's a big tattoo.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, I spent all of the tax return on that pretty much.
On that, yeah.
But it was worth it. Came out looking great.
I love tattoos, man. I love getting tattoos. I think it's fun.
Stephen Randolph loves tattoos, hates the movie Castaway.
And that's a good transition, and I'm actually really passionate about this. I was getting angry on the car as when you asked me to do this podcast, I was like, because I don't watch a lot of movies. And so
Oh, you don't?
I don't watch a lot of movies because I got to be real honest with you. I'm bitter and jealous that I'm not in them, so I don't want to watch them. And that's a terrible attitude to have. But I figure once I have a successful movie career, I'm going to start watching movies. And I'm just admitting that humbly, and I'm not proud of that.
Okay. I mean, I get that.
Yeah, it's like
from knowing you for as long as I've known you and becoming your friend and understanding your inner psyche, that totally tracks.
Yeah, it's
with
the
my
truth.
understanding of you.
That's
but
true.
Like, damn, that's such a shame.
Yeah.
That you have shut yourself off from watching a lot of movies because
a damn
you're
shame.
jealous.
It's a damn shame.
And
I feel like it's like watching other people. See, what I'll allow myself to do is watch like murder documentaries, mafia documentaries. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch a lot of documentaries because that doesn't make me jealous. And I genuinely like documentaries. But I don't want to see some cool comedy movie that I'm not in. I watch enough stand-up that I'm not in. So I don't want to sit there and watch a bunch of people. It feels like I'm hungry and I'm watching like 5 dudes just eat pizza that I'm not allowed to eat. Dude, once I'm stuffed with enough pizza, then I'll watch you eat pizza.
that's okay. That's not
a good mindset.
That's not a good mindset, but
At all.
that's a very effective analogy.
It's honest. That is genuinely how I feel. Maybe one day I will let go of that. I think I'll be in some movies. And once I'm in a couple cool movies, then I'll sit back and watch you guys's.
Before we get into why you hate Castaway,
I fucking hate this movie.
what is the last movie that you watched that was like a narrative movie in theaters? Do you remember?
I don't even remember. I mean, Chelsea drags me to him, but I saw one. I saw one with Ben Stiller where he was jealous of other people's success, and
Was it Greenberg?
Is that the one with his kid where he went to college?
Oh no, that's oh god,
That was awesome. That was
Brad
awesome.
Status.
Brad Status. That was a great movie. That was a fucking awesome movie.
That seems like a movie that was made for you.
Yeah,
Just about someone who's obsessed with other people's success.
You know what? I gotta unfollow everybody. It's just not good.
Delete all your accounts.
Just unfollow. I can't afford to do that right now.
No,
I want to be successful enough to just not have Instagram or Facebook. But
get to Gerard Carmichael levels.
Yeah, exactly. Where you don't need it. I know.
But Castaway.
Okay, so here's the deal. I haven't seen this movie in fucking 10 years, but guess what? I hate it. The second you asked me to do this podcast, it instantly surfaced in my head. I got so angry, I didn't even want to talk about it. Chelsea, on the way over here, I said, "Oh, I'm doing Jay's podcast," and I told her what it was about, and she knew what it was about. She's like, "But you don't watch a lot of movies," and I go, "Yeah, but I don't fucking like Castaways. And she goes, why? And I just said, if I ever die, don't fuck the family dentist. And she goes, what are you talking about? She goes, you're being crazy right now. And I said, I can't talk about this right now because I don't want to jack off before the sex here. So
right.
I am.
You want to come all over my apartment?
I want to bust loads all over everything in here, including that pussy I'm looking at right now.
Woo, Edgar, look out.
Edgar Allan Poe. So yeah, I am very, very. I've never been this affected by a movie in my life, and I've never hated and been afraid of everything in this movie in my life.
That is fascinating. So, okay, how old were you? This, by the way, first of all, before we get a little further in case you are forgetting what we're talking about here, Castaway. 2000 American survival drama film directed and produced by Robert Zemeckis and starring Tom Hanks and Helen Hunt. The film depicts a FedEx employee marooned on an uninhabited island after his plane crashes in the South Pacific and his attempts to survive on the island using remnants of his plane's cargo. The film was released on December 22nd, 2000. Classic Christmas movie. Of course, you want to go watch Tom Hanks just be sad and want to kill himself for several hours right before Christmas. Tom Hanks was nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role at the Academy Awards, and it grossed $429 million worldwide, and it's got a motherfucking 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. And yet, it hurts. It hurts you on a deep level.
It hurts me a great deal.
So okay. I'm
very clear about my hatred.
The family dentist thing, I totally 100% get. Because I had never seen this movie until he brought up that you hated it.
So you went and watched. That's cool. You go and watch these if you haven't seen them.
If I haven't seen them, I always try and watch.
That's really cool. I like that. It brings a lot of movies into your experience. Probably.
It does, and I love movies, and I want to, but I have a lot of blind spots, and I want to be able to have a solid discussion and not just be listening to you the whole time and not be able to really add anything.
No, I got it. Yeah.
It's a conversation, right? It's not just. It's the beauty of this podcast, in my mind, is that. It's a conversation, and it's not just one person ranting and me just going like, yeah, and more. Yeah. Because I watched this movie, and there were a lot of things that I liked about it, but some of the things I think it's a flawed movie. I think it's very close to being like a 5-star great movie, but the end is almost completely wrong. In my mind. And it's too long, first of all.
Helen Hunt?
2.5 hours long.
I can't even look at that fucking tramp in anything else without thinking about what she did to him in this movie.
Right? Dude. Helen Hunt in this movie, and she almost leaves her regular husband, the dentist.
What a piece of shit.
She's poor lady. She's just so mixed up. She doesn't know how to act. I can't imagine. Here's what I think should happen.
I'm getting worked up.
I am too. Yeah. I think your energy is feeding into me
because I feel so strongly. I'm married now, and I even feel more strongly about this.
I think I would love to hear about how your opinion of this movie began. Like, how did it get so deeply rooted in your mind when you saw it?
Okay, here's what we're working with on the Steve Randolph side of things. My parents got divorced. My mom never cheated to my knowledge. My mom would always talk about how attractive our family dentist was, Dr. Campbell. I mean, this just lines up.
Straight off the bat.
I mean, let's just be real here. I've done enough 12-step work and I've done enough therapy. I know what's going on here. And I'm not willing to change. And I'm not willing to I know how, it makes sense to me why I'm so terrified and hate this movie. And I'm not budging on this.
Because it's literally so close to what your life could have been if your dad had been if your dad had been in a plane crash and marooned.
Yeah, and so my mom would always be like, oh, well, I overheard my mom and the other women talking about Dr. Campbell growing up, like, oh, Steven, do you have another appointment? Like, they were just joking about it. But I remember then I was like, wow, okay, so I was looking at my mom. I'm like, oh, if I ever get married, my wife's going to want to fuck the dentist. Okay, that's like 9-year-old Steven in the 80s. Like, store that away. Like, okay, just pack that in the fucking emotional, file folder. And then in whenever this movie came out, I think I even seen it saw it a couple years later. So I think I probably saw it like in 2004.
Okay.
I remember.
And how old were you? Would you
24.
24?
24. Smoked a joint with my friend Ralph. Ralph Samarusti, shout out. Went to his house, had a really nice house, huge TV, cool place to hang out and watch movies and stuff. You know, smoked a joint, let's watch fucking Castaways. And, you know, I'm stoned as fuck, instantly like kind of getting into it. And then the plane crash just fucking, whoa, like it hit me out of nowhere. You know, I was like, oh my God, and I'm scared of planes. And I'm like, oh my God. And it was just like, I remember being like, scared of that moment, and that's fine.
Did you know anything about the movie going into it?
Nothing about
Nothing.
it.
Okay.
Nothing.
So plane crash totally happens, and thank God, pacing wise, Robert Zemeckis had the plane crash happen sometime in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If the plane crash had taken any longer than that to happen, a lot of the movie would not work as effectively as it did.
Why do you think that?
Because the plane crash, it's such a jarring experience.
It was very jarring the way they did it.
It's really well done, and I'm surprised that they didn't get some sort of a visual effects Oscar. They only got nominated for 2 Oscars.
What were they?
Best sound and best leading actor.
Wow.
Zemeckis didn't get a best director nomination.
Interesting.
It didn't get any kind of visual effects, anything in that vein.
Strange.
Which is very weird because the plane crash scene it's very captivating, and it's very it's scary.
It's terrifying.
It's
Imagine
terrifying.
being stoned and watching that, not even knowing what you're walking into. You know, like you just had a meal with your friends, sparked up a joint, and then you're like, "What the fuck?"
I just watched 3 men die.
Yeah.
And one of them have like a horrifying head injury and be bleeding out right before all this happened.
And so here's another reason. So the hatred, it plugged on all my worst fears. I have a fear that if I have integrity, I have integrity, but there's like little spaces in my integrity, and the more I, you know, keep getting older and going through life, I'm attempting to have more and more integrity in all my relationships. And Tom Hanks had a ton of integrity in this movie, and he got fucked. And so like the fact that he was like, you know, working for FedEx after the plane crashed, and he's marooned on this island, and he sees some of his cargo, which was FedEx cargo, other people's packages. He hesitated to open that shit up out of integrity, and I'm like, oh, how nice that is. You know, like the universe will obviously reward this guy with his integrity, but it doesn't. It fucks him, dude. His wife fucking leaves him. Okay, he has a hell ride of a time, and there's no. I really struggle with integrity. With like, why have integrity? It's just if you have integrity, the people that seem to cheat always get ahead. I don't know. That's something I struggle with right there. When he hesitated to open up that package and he still got screwed over, which you could argue at the end of the movie he survives, he's not screwed over. But I'd rather die than have my wife cheat on me.
Well, that's basically the crux of the movie hinges on that very end scene where he's left Helen Hunt.
Yes.
Karen, I think is her name.
I don't remember. I blocked a lot of this out. Like
I'm gonna look up her name.
Like a bad emotional abuse. I blocked out the names.
It's it's a movie. Kelly Frears. So he leaves Kelly in his car, and she saved all this memorabilia and all this stuff.
Yeah, she saved the memorabilia, and it's just sitting there where she's getting pounded out by the family dentist. But go on.
She's probably sobbing every time that the family dentist pounds her out, though.
That would make me a little more happy.
I bet that.
Do you promise? Do you think?
I think so.
Did she still come? I mean, I don't want to be crude on this podcast, but
she's probably got such an emotionally complex thing going on with love and relationships.
It didn't take her too long. Was it 2 years?
4 years. Oh no, wait, she had the kid, so it was 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. You're married to your best friend. He's fucking disappeared. Within 2 years, you're getting pounded. 24 months, 2 Christmases. Oh man. I'm expecting 10 plus, and even then it's like, dude, if a girl could just turn around and just be open-legged, fucking getting pounded out by the family, by your mutual dentist.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. That's like, was she in love in the first place?
Hi. I don't know if you remember me, but I gave you, this is the conversation. I don't know if you gave me a root, I don't know if you remember me, but I gave you a root canal about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And then the next sentence is, I'm giving your ex-fiance the business. But that's not that's what goes through in Tom Hanks's mind. He's been jerking off to this picture of a locket.
And that's what did it. And that's the picture. That's what did it. Integrity. showing that he loved her. He never let go of her.
So here's what again, back to that last scene where
let me just ask, can I just cut you off because I'm so passionate?
Go for it.
And this is just your opinion. I just thought of it now. If there was a hot island girl there, do you think Tom Hanks would have fucked her? I don't think he would have because he's married.
No, he's not married.
What do you mean he's not married?
They weren't married? No.
They weren't married?
No, he proposed to her right before he got on the plane.
And what did she say?
She said, "I'm scared." And he said, "You don't have to open it now or answer now, but I'll be back for New Year's Eve and we'll answer then."
I thought they were married. That's helping a little bit. I'm glad I'm doing this podcast.
No, yeah, they weren't married
with me
at
for a
all.
long time.
It was just
dating, but almost there.
Yeah, they were basically like engaged to be engaged.
They were engaged because
Like
she would have said
promise
yes.
ring shit.
She would have said yes.
But she would have said yes. But then he died, quote unquote, in a plane crash.
He disappeared. They never found the body.
Let me ask you this. So the scene where, getting back to the scene at the end, where he has this moment where he's just sitting in his coworker's house, drinking scotch, and it's just like a single camera scene where it's just a single shot and it pans around Tom Hanks, as he's monologuing about like, I lost her and I thought I lost everything and I spent 4 years on an island. And now I'm back in society and I'm drinking out of a glass with ice in it, and I lost her again.
Oh,
and that's
my God!
But here's the thing: is it's so that moment right there?
Yes, that hurt me.
That moment hurt me too because I totally understand where he's coming from as far as like he had to do whatever he could to survive. He not only started talking to a fucking volleyball, but anytime the face that he painted on the volleyball in his own blood started to fade away, he would cut himself so he could repaint
how much pain
the blood face on the volleyball.
Yeah.
That's how much pain he was in. He needed to cling to whatever he could to survive. So that's a beautiful moment, and Tom Hanks is a fucking great actor.
There's beautiful moments in this movie,
and he holds on to that pain so well. But then the literal like next line is, instead of just letting the moment sit, the script, for whatever reason, the writers decided to just lay out exactly how he's feeling by saying it overtly, and he didn't need to do that
in a voiceover.
No, he just says like, "I'm really sad that Kelly is no longer with me, but I'm also really glad she wasn't on that island." And then I was sitting there watching it. I was like, "Oh, this is a really nice scene." And then that line happens, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I know that already. Yeah, based on his performance. Mm-hmm. You just ruined this. You ruined this nice moment with your writing.
Yeah, interesting. So I was so distraught. I at the point where we learned about that, I mean, my head was spinning, and I wasn't even looking at anything else other than like, if I ever get married.
So this is tapping into your fears. So you're thinking you're not married, or were you in a relationship at the time when you saw this movie?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, so you're watching it with your friend. You're stoned. Plane crash happens. You freak the fuck out for the first time because you're terrified of planes. Yeah. Then what?
And then I'm watching the movie and I'm like, this is interesting. You know, I'm rooting for him. It's very well done. Mm-hmm. The whole Wilson thing was emotional. Him doing the dental procedure on himself was emotional. And then when he got rescued, and when I think it's been years, but what does he see? Like the baby seat or something, when he sees proof of her new relationship. I forgot how they showed that, where there was like some kind of, wasn't there like baby stuff in the house or something?
Oh yeah, he goes to her house and she moves a stroller out of the way.
That right there, that is, you were out, dude. That, like, when I saw that, I was like, this bitch is done. In my mind, I would never talk to her again. I would never talk to her again.
You're
out.
It's so interesting. Your hatred for this movie centers around that.
A fear of abandonment.
It centers around that. That's so interesting. This is, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean, this has been decades now, literally, probably since the movie's been out, since I've seen it. It's been 15 years. I'm 10 years sober. A lot of dude. This is I've done a lot of work around. This still is like, you fucking bitch.
So what else? So if you're in that situation, let's do the reverse. So say that Chelsea,
Yes,
your wife,
yes,
is
I would never remarry.
You're 100% certain of that.
I don't think I would ever fuck anybody again.
Really?
Yeah, I would. If she was missing, no.
So if she goes missing and is presumed dead, never again.
Unless I see a body, I'm not coming. And that's the Randolph.
Are you jerk off ever again?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably.
So you'll come.
Yes.
But not with anybody else.
I wouldn't. I have weird integrity. Like I have it's strange.
What are you trying to prove?
Nothing. It's just I don't even think I'm trying to prove anything with that.
Okay.
I am a guy who has to prove himself. I do have that. As gross as that is, I do have that inside me that need to prove. But with this area, it's not even. This is just in my DNA.
Got it. So let's flip it then. So you're Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And you crash on an island.
Yeah.
You're presumed missing, left for dead.
Yeah.
You wind up somehow through the grace of the grace of the universe. You get off the island and you are rescued. Your wife has remarried.
Oh, you want to know that scene?
What?
You want to know that scene?
Tell me what that scene plays out like in the Stephen Randolph starring version of Castaway.
Very, very quiet. When I get really mad, you've seen me freak out. We've worked together for 4 years. You've seen me lose my mind.
Yeah.
You've seen the whole gamut. My ex crossed me and we were almost married. And I just got very calm and professional.
Oh, man.
And I gave her one chance to just like, hey, let's speak. And she was being crazy. And I said, this is your chance. And I gave her like a week or something. And then I was like, we're done now. And I was just professional. If she would email me, I'd say, hey, whatever.
Wow.
And it was just, I would see that and I would have a quiet talk because the damage is already done. There's another child in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just have a very brief, in-depth, calm conversation about how disappointed I am. And then I would never talk to that person again.
Gotcha.
Ever again.
So you basically, I mean, you are on the same level emotionally as Tom Hanks in this movie. I think that might be why you identify with it and are so deeply affected by it. Because he has the smallest version of that conversation.
I forgot what please tell me because you just saw it. What did he say?
It's very small.
Yeah. What did he say?
Basically, he takes the car after he's been at her house and like reminisced with her and been like, listen, I'm giving you this watch back that you gave me. It's a family heirloom. It should be part of your family.
Oh, integrity.
Right. And he comes and he gets in the car and he drives out and then she chases after him and they kiss in the rain.
And she's a cheater now. So now she's a cheater.
And then she gets back in the car.
Yeah.
And they have this moment, they're breathing heavy, and it could be like, who knows what's going to happen? Are they going to run away together?
If it came with someone else, why not fuck the new guy? You know?
Exactly, but that's the thing. I'm thinking that too.
No integrity.
I'm like, who knows? Who knows what the fuck's going to happen? Is she going to throw all this away to be with Tom Hanks? And Tom Hanks, as Stephen Randolph would do in a longer version, says, you need to go home.
And home is not with him.
Right, and she gets out of the and she nods and she gets out of the car and then he drives off.
I hope she has a shitty life. I hope, and he's with that other girl.
Interesting.
I hope the dentist dies, and she has just a string of bad rest of her stay on planet Earth. And I hope that Facebook had been invented. So I hope she's now. If this movie were real and to be, I hope she's now watching him just have an amazing life, and she's known the fucking the deceit, I don't even know what the word. I hope she's paying for her sins.
So let me ask you this: why do you feel like, from an integrity standpoint, I understand where you're coming from your perspective. So
from death do us, well, they weren't married. Okay,
they weren't married, but
that takes it out. That takes 30% of the pain away.
Right, they're not married, but till death do us part. If you're in a shipwreck and presumed dead, if you're lost at sea, presumed dead.
Presumed. When you assume, it's assuming, presuming. It's not fact.
Man.
He wasn't dead. Presuming. Yeah, we presumed he's dead. Wow.
I mean, it'd been 4 years. Let me ask you this. If if you're the one at home, how long do you wait? The whole rest of your life?
Yeah.
You wait the whole rest of your life to see the
Yeah.
body. So why do you feel like
I probably just watch a lot of porn.
that makes sense? So okay.
I put some, dude. I don't know. Okay, that's too.
Do you
dark.
go if you're Tom Hanks in this movie? Do you go to every length the way he did until basically you are?
If I'm yes,
until you're forced into giving up.
that is the kind of person I am.
Do you try and kill yourself the way Tom Hanks did? Because that was a scene in the movie where I legitimately was like, "Oh fuck."
I have.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was doing the testing and stuff like that.
And he pulls because he's talking to Wilson. Wilson's like, I know where. I imagine in the script that they had dialogue written for Wilson.
Yeah.
Which would be fucking great if they did. I hope they do. I don't know if anybody's read the Castaway script who listens to this podcast.
Oh, interesting. If they had like a would it be Tom Hanks' own voiceover, you think, as Wilson, or just a different voice?
It would probably be a Tom Hanks voiceover of imagining what the voice would be like. But in my mind,
Interesting.
because he's always responding to something that Wilson says, even though it's him thinking it, of course. But the scene, he goes, I know where there's 30 feet of extra rope. And then he goes and pulls the effigy, the test with the noose. And sees that, and then you find that out, and you're like, "Oh, he was going to kill himself."
Yeah.
Do you go through that?
Probably.
Yeah.
I would probably be searching for a way out. Yeah. If years and years and just being that hungry and sunburnt and yeah, I think that would be an option. Suicide would be an option.
Okay. So
I know you're going with this.
You know where I'm going with
but
it.
I had to give you my honest answer.
I know.
I couldn't lie to you, knowing where you're leading me.
I understand, and I appreciate that you're being forthcoming with me.
Yeah,
so,
I have integrity. Unfortunately, in this world that we're watching,
I think it brings up an interesting point. Of, do you think that it would be worth going through all of that mental torture on your end if you're the one at home and you don't know that the person that you love is alive or not? Do you feel like you would ever assume that it would be easier to presume that they are dead than put yourself through the emotional toil of hoping that they are alive and that they're coming back when they might have just killed themselves on a rock?
it would be easier to assume they're dead if you're that person. It probably would be easier. My brain doesn't work that way.
Gotcha.
My brain doesn't stop. Like fucking, it's like roaming. You know what I mean? And it's an issue with my happiness. I know if I was able to accept certain things and surrender and do all that, but my brain is just roaming for a signal.
This podcast got really fucking heavy.
Dude, I knew it when you asked me to do the podcast, and I was like, "Yeah, that'd be fun." Like, I hate some movies, and then I go Castaway, and I was like, it came to me, and I was like, "Damn, this is gonna be a rough one."
I love when stuff like this happens.
This is not like, I'm not just like trying to, you know what I mean, like have a good podcast or I really feel this deeply about this.
No, I
really do.
I'm glad that you are willing to go to this place with me.
Yeah, I have no choice. I mean, you asked me to do it, and I'm now married, and you know what I mean.
So let me ask you. There's one other point that I would like to sort of hit on that I've been thinking about since you explained your reasoning for hating this movie.
Did I tell you that before?
Why you hated it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You said you saved it all for the pod.
Good.
And this
like
is
a pro.
You are a fucking pro, dude. Bump my fist for the cameras.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see it.
There we go.
I was steering off into the dark.
It's all good. You're in a dark. You're in a dark place right now.
Yeah.
You're trying to find the light.
I know. Let's find the light.
Light's
together.
right here. It's literally sitting right across.
Okay.
From me. So if okay. So you said that despite your hatred of this movie,
yeah,
which I again totally understand, given your own mental patterns and the way and the way you are as a person. Exactly. I understand it.
Yeah, me too. I understand it, and I wish it wasn't like this.
But I don't think it's a bad thing to be like that. I don't think that you're wrong for having integrity. I think if you ever,
It's strange
God forbid you ever
integrity.
find up in a situation
Yeah.
like this, and sorry for burping on the podcast just now, but God forbid you ever find yourself in a situation like this and you actually have to go through that path and figure out in real time what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I hope that it never happens.
I don't
mean, it's a
think
fucking movie. It's probably never going to happen.
I don't think it'll happen. Yeah.
But the question I wanted to ask is, despite feeling so affected deeply by this movie to the point of being uncomfortable on a level of like, I'm going to watch it once and never watch it ever again.
I'll never watch it again.
You said that there were still beautiful moments in the movie.
Yeah.
What to you is keeping those beautiful moments? And and by the way, what are some of those beautiful moments?
It sounds silly, and it wasn't. It was when he ordered, and I'd like to just point out something that I discovered in this movie too. He has a Dr. Pepper with ice on the plane ride home. Tom Hanks, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom Hanks has a Dr. Pepper in every fucking movie he's ever been in.
Really?
That's what I think. I don't watch a lot of movies, so keep in mind my movie watching stopped in the 90s. I mean, we'll go right away. We'll go Forrest Gump.
Probably
a bunch of Dr. Peppers.
Does he have Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
Forrest Gump?
Yeah, Forrest Gump. Bunch of Dr. Peppers. In the space movie he's in, Dr. Pepper.
Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. The one where A League of Their Own, Dr. Pepper. I mean, I'm seeing a pattern here. The first thing he asked for is a Dr. Pepper, and I just went Dr. Pepper.
Maybe he's been sponsored by Dr. Pepper this entire time.
I don't think it's like that. Maybe it's just something weird. So
it's so subtle that like he's got that in his contract.
I just picked that up. I just picked it up.
Tom Hanks' dad is Dr. Pepper.
I love Dr. Pepper. It's
and
my
so
favorite
he's
soda.
shouting it out to his dad. I fucking hate Dr. Pepper.
And you also, and I've been thinking about it so much. Josh Wolf, when I was on the road with him, he goes, "Oh, I gotta have a Rice Krispie treat," and I just like bit my lip because I was like, "You haven't ruined them for me," but I do take a second thought now,
Man.
and I love rice. That's a different whole.
Dude, I was doing that bit on my
It's
show
great.
that I run
Yeah.
at the Pack, and someone in the audience had brought, because my someone who was involved with the show.
Jay hates Rice Krispie treats.
I hate Rice Krispie treats, and I'm working on a bit about it, which hopefully, if you come to see me on stage, you will see a fleshed out version of it.
I love Rice Krispie treats, but he's so passionate about how much he hates
Rice
it.
Krispie treats are so fucking bad.
It's
Why would
funny
you
to see someone hate something?
But
like,
so someone told this. There's a regular who comes to our show, and this person told the regular, "Hey, Jay is doing this. Has been working out this bit about hating Rice Krispie treats."
Yeah.
And so she brought Rice Krispie treats to the show.
as a joke.
Just give me one afterwards. And she came in while I was doing this bit and sat down in the front. And he pointed at her and said, "Jana's got Rice Krispie treats."
That's funny.
And she was literally like holding one that
yeah.
she had just bought from the bodega at the corner. And I took it and I threw it on the ground and I stomped on it.
Oh, that's great.
And then I kicked it up and I kicked it across the stage. And I was like, it's so visceral.
Yeah, I know.
hate it so much.
I know you do. I know you do.
And I don't understand why people like it. I don't understand why people like Dr. Pepper.
Dr.
It tastes
Pepper's
weird.
It's prune juice. And that's that. Like when I found out about that as a kid, I don't know if that's
prune
true.
juice?
I think so. Yeah, my
It
mom
tastes
used to
like
tell me that. A lot of
cherries.
people
It's
say
so
it
weird.
tastes like medicine, but I just liked it. I don't know why. But when he had the Dr. Pepper,
Mhm.
I can imagine. So when I went to rehab, all we had was like coffee, water. It was like a really strict place, and after being there for like a month, so 30 days of like being deprived of like anything that tasted good or any kind of like pleasure, I got to go to Starbucks. They're like, okay, we need 2 strong guys to go to Home Depot with like the manager of this rehab. And we went and just like did all this lumber, and it was like really, like humbling bullshit. And I'm just like all depressed. And then I remember I had a cigarette on me, and I asked him, I was like, hey, can we it was in the same parking lot. Can we go to Starbucks? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, please, Larry, can we go to Starbucks? Me and my friend Mike. And he's like, all right, let's just go real quick to Starbucks. And I got a soy chai latte. And I was like, can I just enjoy this for 5 minutes, please? I've been through a lot. And he was like, all right. And so we smoked cigarettes, and I had a soy chai latte, and it was one of the most pleasurable experiences of my life. So I can imagine and I hadn't been to rehab when I saw this scene, but it when he has a Dr. Pepper with ice on the plane, and I thought, wow, how cool would that be to have sugar? I mean, he probably hasn't had sugar in 4 years.
And not just he has 2 cups of ice.
He has 2 cups of ice.
He hasn't had to have ice in 4 years.
So that's got to be, I mean, how pleasurable that would be.
He hasn't been able to have a cold beverage in 4 years.
In 4 years.
So that moment you really like. Are there any other moments that you think are beautiful in this movie?
Yeah, when he got some new fucking pussy. And you know?
But he doesn't, though.
He went to go find that chick. What do you think he's going to do? Make fucking...
He drives away.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I was stoned and distraught.
Dude.
Wait. Dude. Did I get this all wrong? Now I'm back to hating it. You told me they weren't engaged. That helped a little bit.
Yeah. He goes to her house clearly to try and fuck.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do? If you're like a minor media celebrity and
you haven't got laid in 4 years.
Right.
Your best friend was a volleyball.
Yeah. Like if of course you're trying to fuck.
Jay, he doesn't drive off. What do you mean? He drives to her house with all those water bottles. He gets all the, and he drives the Jeep.
Yep. He drives to her house and he drops the thing off because she's not there. He drops the package off because she's not there. And then he drives out.
You don't think there's a return address on there or some kind of, that was her package.
It was her package. It was her package that she mailed. And he drives out and then she pulls up on the pickup truck and because he's lost and he's like, I don't know which way to go.
Yes.
And so she's like, these are the directions.
Yeah.
And good luck, basically. And she drives back to her house and he notices that it's the angel wings. And then he like smiles and then drives away.
Smiles and drives away?
Yeah.
Can you Google? Are you sure?
Here's what we're going to do.
Google.
I'm
Does
gonna
Tom
look it up.
Hanks fuck the angel wings chick?
This is from Wikipedia.
This is going to hurt.
A friendly woman passing by in a pickup truck stops to explain where each road leads. As she drives away, Chuck notices angel wings on the back of her truck, which match those on the parcel. As Chuck is left standing at the crossroads, he looks down each road, then smiles faintly as he looks in the direction of the woman's truck. So I'm wrong. He doesn't drive off.
Okay.
But he doesn't...
Wait. He looks in the direction, like, let's be real. This is all poetic, but he's like, I'm about to go I'm going to make this happen. So he looks in that direction. That's you or I, single. Like, we just got our hearts torn out, and it's like some hot girl, and you're like, I know what I'm doing next. Do you think he drove? So what happened? What happened? He drove off?
That's it. That's where the movie cuts out.
A horny dude who's had his heart broken looks in the. I think that's
he's
his new
past
wife.
the point of horniness.
Maybe
He might be.
but not past the point of loneliness. Or is he going to wander the earth and just be his own man and find out who he really is?
I think that's the next step. I don't know. If there was a sequel to Castaway, I wouldn't want it to be him shacking up with Bettina the whole time.
And you know her name. Is it Bettina?
Yeah, it's on the fucking dude. She's divorced. She's got it on the package. She's divorced. She's literally cut her ex-husband's name out of the ranch sign.
They are going to end up together.
They're probably gonna fuck once, and then she's gonna be like, "You should go wander the earth," and Tom Hanks will be like, "Hi, I guess you're right," and then leave. She's the rebound. She's like a 4-year-long rebound.
She's a rebound. That's fine with me, as long as he gets laid.
It's still a beautiful moment.
That was a beautiful moment.
So, and the point I wanted to get to, despite the movie having beautiful moments,
yeah,
why do you think that those beautiful moments are overshadowed by the disdain?
Because when there's abandonment, when there's somebody close to you screwing you over, the whole world goes to black and there is no beauty.
Until you go drive down that country road
and get some pussy.
Yeah,
that is my truth.
Well, I'm going to have to watch the last couple seconds of this movie again because maybe he doesn't drive off.
Will you text me and let me know?
I'll pull it up right as soon as we finish recording.
Yeah, because I can't watch it. It's too much.
I'll figure it out and I'll text you.
Yeah, tell me what you think. Yeah.
Because maybe he does. I don't think he drives off in her direction. I trust Wikipedia. But, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess I really do want Tom Hanks to get some pussy in this movie.
Yeah, he deserves it. Having all that integrity. And look, this isn't me being misogynist. If the reverse happened to a woman, I'd be rooting right there for her, too. This is just somebody getting screwed over.
Right. You want them to get...
I believe in love.
That release.
Here's the thing, Jay. I believe in love. I'm in love right now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in love. and I don't think she acted out. I think she was selfish. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm being immature or crazy, but
I mean, I think
love is
you're being a little crazy, but I say that as your friend.
yeah.
And I think it's also, I mean, it's characters in the movie, but
I remember. I know, but it's bringing up a lot. You know,
right. Because your mom, because you're afraid that your mom was also fucking the dentist the whole time.
Emotionally, mentally, maybe. Yeah.
I get that. Hey, man, it turns out that this movie is just like so pinpoint accurate on what you're afraid of.
Oh, dude, it lined it up perfectly.
It's so. You know how they always have those disclaimers at the ends of movies where they're like the people and places in this movie are fictional, not based on real events. I feel like for this movie, there is no way in your mind that disclaimer is accurate.
Happened. Yeah, it happened.
Yeah,
it happened to Tom Hanks.
This happens in your head. This movie replays in your head.
It did for
constantly.
years. It did for years, and I haven't thought about it until now. And like even Chelsea's like, "You're being crazy." I was like, "I don't want to talk about this movie with you."
Well, I'm glad you talked about it with me.
Yeah, and this is the last time I'll probably ever talk about this movie.
Hey, we're gonna lock it up in the Blockbusting vault after this.
Yeah, this is in the vault, and you know what? If you see me around, tell me you love the podcast. I don't want to talk about Castaways though.
I appreciate that you were able to talk about it with me.
Yeah,
really,
this is it. This is the one and done.
This episode is, I like a podcast episode where we get something beyond just yelling about a movie.
Well, there's reasons,
and I understand your reasons.
Yeah, there's reasons why people hate things. It's like, well, what is this about?
That's why I like. That's why I like the show.
I know it's a great concept. It's a great concept because there's reasons that people hate things.
Yeah,
it's like so hate is fear.
Mm-hmm.
What are you afraid of? That's really what you're asking, I think. How are you triggered with this?
Right.
And this is a deep podcast.
It is. And hey, look, I like this movie. I don't think it's a 5-star great movie. I think
look, if I didn't have these issues and you're on a plane or you're somewhere and it comes on, it's worth a watch.
Oh yeah.
It's worth a watch.
This is probably the kind of movie that would be
when you're sick.
Yeah. Oh, this is like an AMC Sunday afternoon kind
100%.
of movie. And if you're ever around, watch it. It's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
But
it's just not for me.
Right. And that's totally fine, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you were able to come and talk with me about it.
Thank you. And Dr. Pepper.
Where can the listeners find you? You got a podcast.
I've got a podcast. My podcast is called So Deep. Would love to have you on as a guest.
I would love to do it.
So Deep, wherever fine podcasts are available, Spotify, iTunes. You could add me on Instagram or follow me on Twitter. It's at StevenRandolph2, the number 2, at Steven Randolph 2. And come say you heard me on Jay Light's podcast. I'd like to know where people are hearing.
Yeah.
Listening.
Man.
I'm very approachable.
He is. He's very approachable.
Very neurotic.
Steven's fucking a mensch. And I'm not even Jewish, and I'll call him a mensch.
Neither am I. And we're both menches.
Yeah.
And we go to menchies.
Yes. And he's got integrity.
In some things.
I think you got integrity.
I got integrity.
Now, you can follow me at Diet J on Twitter and Instagram, jlightcomedy.com for show dates. Hey, guess what? Remember that part where I said I was going to New York? Not happening. But I am going to Arkansas. I will be
upgraded.
It's a total upgrade. I'm going to be doing long sets at the VFW in Beebe and the Elks Lodge in Searcy.
Give them hell.
And at the Joint Theater and Coffee House in Little Rock on May 17th, 18th, and 19th. So check my website for the dates and times and locations. I got some other stuff coming up this month, so just check my calendar on my website, jlightcomedy.com for that. If you like this podcast, leave a rating, subscribe, leave a review, and do the same for So Deep.
Yeah, rate and review. It really helps both of us. Like anybody's podcast, if you like it, just like 1 or 2 little clicks, because we're out here, we're doing this for free, we're grinding, and we like putting out content, but that rating and reviewing, especially on iTunes, I heard. That's the one that really matters. That really helps if you like it.
It really does. And
we appreciate it a lot.
I really like you guys.
I do too.
The fucking blockheads. You guys are great. I got a name for my fans.
The blockheads?
Blockheads, dude.
Blockheads. Look, if you ever find yourself in a situation where your significant other is missing, it's not confirmed that they have passed away, do the right thing. Stay married in your heart.
Do the right thing. Put that ring around your heart. Steven, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
This has been Blockbusting. Go see something good for a change.